onion. Oh.
Hi. After nearly a year off sick and longer off the bikes, Nadia and I decided to cycle for a few weeks this summer in the Alps. To start, we rode from our temporary base in Hungary to Zagreb in Croatia, where we caught a bus to Turin, Italy, to begin the ride. This episode shows our ride out of Turin and into France to ride Europe's highest paved mountain pass. Enjoy.
Oh. Okay, thunder has arrived. Oscar is packing the last parts, last bits, and getting his waterproofs out. We were on our way to, our first endpoint of the day. We just started riding, and we definitely expected some rain and thunder along the way, but a little bit lighter, so later. So it got to us a bit sooner than expected. So, wrapped in our rain gear, ready for the next road ahead, and hopefully it won't get too bad, but let's see what happens. Are you ready? Do you?
There's just not room for everything, but I need to carry.
So just a small little update. We've been hiking pretty much. We've been hiking pretty much uphill all day, and it's a lot. It's like these.
The first hills in, mountain. The first uphill we've cycled in more than a year.
Yeah.
So.
My Oscar is a bit more trained than I am, so my legs feel like jelly right now. But hopefully, and probably we'll make it to the end point. But it keeps focusing on my face. Sorry.
That's fine.
But this is pretty much what we had all day. Maybe you can't see it properly.
You can never see how steep it is.
Oh my god. It's killing me. But we can do it. We're doing it. So let's go.
You can do it.
Yes.
We're up, we've come up off the road onto a kind of more quiet path, and we're looking for somewhere to camp for the evening. There's a few options, but there's quite a few houses. Most of them look disused. They might be like ski chalets, but we haven't camped in we haven't wild camped in about a year, so I guess we're a bit more cautious tonight before we get back into the swing of it. But it's a gorgeous place. You can see up there, there's waterfalls, and yeah, we're about 5k from the French border, which we'll do tomorrow in the daytime. This is the camp spot. It's rainy, so I won't have the camera out for long. Quite a nice spot. There's mountains, and yeah, it's gonna rain all night, so we're gonna get into the tent. Good morning. It's we made it through the night. It's very cold because we're almost at 2,000 meters, roughly. Here's Nadia.
Good morning.
And here is where we stayed last night. We thought it would be a bit safer behind this boulder because of potential rockfall. But yeah, and if we couldn't really see this properly last night, but there's a beautiful sunrise on this mountain wall up here. And along that top bridge, that's the French border. So we're gonna pack everything up, and unfortunately we can't cross the border up there. We need to go around the long way. But yeah, we're gonna cross into France today and then stop for breakfast by a big glacial lake in a couple of hours. Okay, bye. So we just cycled from up there down to this overpriced ski village, and now we begin the Col de Litoran, which is, if Google is to be trusted, the highest paved mountain pass in Europe. We've just had a beer and the air's thin, so bear with me. So we go up there, and then about tomorrow we're gonna pass over. We've made a small shelter from the rain. We're by a river and we're planning to camp over there later on once the sun goes down and we've had dinner.
Good morning. We just camped in our second camp place in France. Well, actually the first one in France, but our second in total. Here it is. We just hung everything up to dry because not every morning is sunny, so it's fairly misty, and we're hoping for it to kind of dry up as much as it can before we pack, and then we'll be off on our way again. It's still very early though, so we're on our way to the riverbank because we slept next to the riverbank, and have a little coffee, have a little food, so to give us a bit more energy for the rest of the road again, or at the very least for the start. Well, I look an absolute mess. I feel it too, but it's beautiful here, so it's kind of worth it. This is our view, and I have to say that's not half bad. And there is Oscar next to the river, and down here you can see loads more mountains that are still very much covered in clouds. Alright, I'm a bit slow. I'm gonna have a coffee and something to eat. So, we are aiming to pack up in about 20 minutes and leave. We are climbing approximately 1100 meters today in order to get over one of the bigger mountains, and after that we're gonna treat ourselves to a little camping and hopefully we can shower there. That would be really nice, but it's also just kind of a nice feeling not having to worry or to stress if somebody might find you when you're wild camping. So that's a little treat. Plus, Little is at the end of the mountain. So once we summited and went back down again, we are going to do a little grocery shop to get the necessities and essentials, and I bet by then we'll do another update. But so far, Oscar's coming back with the dishes. Where is he? Oh, he's just dipped.
This is the start of the hairpins. We're going to go up from here, round, along here, and then round, and then it's going to zigzag, 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 up there. It's going to be so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. crisps. Can I lean it against mine? Oh, we made it up.
We did it finally, and surprisingly, we're very good at underestimating heights. And this time, we actually estimated it properly, and we managed to get here in 4 hours.
Yeah, it was long, but it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Climbing like off-road is way more difficult. This probably about the last third we were mostly walking, but it was just, yeah, the concrete was fairly smoothish, and it's done.
There are also changes in intensity, so you have really steep climbs every now and again, and then a little bit like gradually going down. So it was zigzagging our way to the top, and the view is spectacular.
If you can hear over all of the bloody motorbikes, there's this view down here.
That's where we came from.
And then there's this new one over here. Yeah, and now we're going down that way. But it's very busy up here and very cold, so we're going to go down and check into the camping place. Hopefully they've got room for us.
Fingers crossed.
Boom, boom, boom. Ah! We're at a French camping. We've been here for
4 nights
4 nights now,
in total.
and that is because
The big reveal. We were on our way down from Col de l'Isserin. Col de l'Isserin? Lisserin. And about 10 minutes from our campsite, I totally kissed the concrete, and I broke my foot in multiple places. So yeah, we were kind of forced to stay here for a while for me to get some CT scans and to get treatment, to get medication, blah blah blah. And most importantly, to get a flight out of here, to get any kind of transportation out of here. And that's what I've been working on for the last 4 days. So, and now it finally happened. Sadly, I was forced to buy like a big bike box that we actually never use, and it's an official bag. It looks very cool but quite useless, but my bike's in there, ready to go.
Yeah, normally you can fly with a cardboard box, but we've asked every single bike shop within about 30 kilometers, and it's a no. So
Yeah.
bike bag it is.
Yeah.
It was very stressful the first few days because we haven't bought travel insurance for ourselves. Nadia's health insurance was covering the first bits that happened, but she has to pay and then get the money back later. So it was still a lot of big costs, which was quite scary.
Yeah, something we didn't really encounter before, but the first time for everything, I guess.
And then we found out that Nadia is still included on family travel insurance. So after a few days of bureaucracy, she's being picked up and airlifted out of here.
That sounds very cool. It's just a repatriation flight, but it's done to such an extent that I'm quite impressed. So it's from A to B. They're gonna pick me up right here with a cab, bring me to a hotel. I'm gonna fly the next morning, and in Budapest I'm gonna be picked up with another taxi who's gonna drop me off at the front door of our little house in Hungary. So I'm like properly impressed.
What happened was, when we're doing downhills normally, I'm always very cautious on roads, and Nadia likes to go faster normally, and on this occasion I went in front, and Nadia made a comment about me going slowly all the time, and at the time I thought, I'll show that. And then I went in front and I was going, quite fast. And obviously when you're the person in behind, you can't see as much of the road that's coming. And then the crash happened.
Yeah, it was a bit unforeseen, obviously, but we just went into a very, what do you call them again? We just went around the switchback, very steep, so you brake a lot, obviously. And on the new road that came along, they had built in this strange little ditch, I guess for water drainage.
And like with a big dip, and then the grate, and then coming back up. So you have to go like this, and on where the roads were getting thinner, the cars were trying to pass us, and I was trying to make a bit of room for them, even though there are lots of signs that say keep 1.5 meter distance from the bikes, which is great from a cyclist, I mean, which is amazing, but still I wanted to make a little bit of space, and intuitively I just went a bit more to the right, and while doing so the weight of the bike kind of swung me just a little bit too far, and I slowly went into the ditch, very slowly, and tried to brake, because we were on a downhill, of course. I tried to brake as fast as I could, but my brakes are really, really good. So I just kind of like stopped, crashed into the stone wall on the right, and I tried to grab myself. A lot of things happened I don't really remember anymore, but this is the consequence of it, and sad shit, but it happens. There was a French guy driving with a pickup truck just behind. He was amazing. He stopped and chucked Nadi's bike in the back and drove her to a local doctor's, and I followed on my bike.
He then he didn't really speak English. We don't really speak French, but we kind of explained where we were staying, and he dropped us off at the doctor's. Then came back about half an hour later with a bike rack to take both of our bikes down to the camping, which is amazing.
First, even the pharmacy as well. This guy was like fucking hero. Really,
Yeah.
really.
When he was setting up the bike rack, you know the bike racks have these like weird arms that hold on to the top tube. He was setting up the bike rack, and then one of the tubes was stuck, and he was pushing it, and then it hit him in the eye really hard, and his eye was bleeding.
I wasn't bleeding. He just got like
It
underneath the skin.
hit his eye. I could see on his eyeball there was like a mark, and then on the like bone ring around the eye, that was also like hit.
Yeah,
and
I saw like a
it was
blue.
bleeding.
Oh,
So it was lots of bad luck in a very short space of time. We don't know anything about the guy. He dropped us off at the camping, and then we profusely thanked him, and then he went off into the night. So
he just said have a nice holiday and left. And we
yeah,
just said what we could in horrible French, and we're trying to figure out his name and address so we can send him something as a thank you, because without him
Yeah.
he helped us so much.
yeah.
Yeah.
He'll never see this video or even understand what we're saying at the moment. But shout out to the mystery Frenchman
Hell yeah.
and the French in general.
Yeah.
Lots
geez.
of in some places the French can be quite rude generally on some holidays. However, in this village and the surrounding area in particular, there's been lots of really friendly, helpful people, and it's been very heartwarming, and we've felt very supported here,
incredibly supported.
despite feeling quite trapped here for the first few days before we had a way out. So
Yeah. So many people random people giving us rides because we were walking or because I was on crutches, and it was just amazing. It's like kind of like a big family feeling. So that was heartwarming and helpful in a shitty time like this. So
yeah,
thanks to all of them. That
so
was, amazing.
merci.
Shut up. No, yeah,
So-
weird twist, but it is what it is. Thank you,
Yeah.
obviously, to everyone who helped us.
Thanks to the Frenchman, thanks to France, thank you for watching,
Yes.
and to play us out, here's Nadia's adventure to Hungary via Amsterdam.
Haha, I'm so cookie. Haha. Okay, that's actually going to come next time because this is getting way too long. If you're still here, thank you so much. We love you, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks for the next episode.
Bye.
Whoop.